Hi, I'm DiPietro. In this video, I'd like to talk to you about scale combining. It's a way to open up the neck so that you're not just stuck playing in this normal. Most people find themselves stuck in that kind of a rut. Most of my students always were just stuck playing that. I'd like to be able to open up the neck for you a little bit, and a lot of people shy away from this information or music theory in general because they feel that it's a mountain of information, too much to tackle. It really isn't. There's just 7 diatonic scales and 5 pentatonic scales, and then I have some passing tones that I'll show you. But basically that's all we're going to do here is just I'll show you these scales and show you how I combine them. And then I would absolutely encourage you to do it your own way. Don't take my word for it. So why don't we start by tuning up. Here's the 6th string, E. 5th string, A. 4th string, D. 3rd string, G. 2nd string, B. And 1st string, E. Okay, let's start with diatonic scales, the modes of which there are 7 because there are 7 notes in a major scale. 8, 1 again. We'll start in the key of F. It gives you the best stretch. This first one is called Ionian mode. It starts on the 1st fret. Here we go. Okay, now we move up a whole step to G, and this is called Dorian mode. Okay, the next scale is Phrygian, starts on the 5th fret. Okay, the next one is on the 6th fret, Lydian. Also, try to use this fingering if you can, because I think you'll find it easier to pull your first finger up into the box rather than moving your whole hand. Later on, it'll enable you to have more speed, be a little more fluid. Okay. Okay, the next scale is mixed Lydian. This time we're going to reach up with our 4th finger out of the 4-fret box. When I say the box, I mean 1, 2, 3, 4 fingers, 4 frets. So if you're going to move out and you need to get a note beyond that, stretch if it's above with your 4th, and if it's below, stretch with your 1st. All right, mixed Lydian scale. The next one is on the 10th fret, Aeolian. It goes like this. And last we have Locrian, which you'll notice is 1/2 step shy of our original note F. So you can see that we completed the scale now. It's on the 12th fret and it sounds like this. And then we go back down, we end up. Okay, so there are the modes of the diatonic scales. Now these can be mixed with the pentatonic scales and kind of giving you a sound like, rather than just having you can mix that sound with kind of this, with a diatonic run. And get that kind of effect. So why don't we go now to the pentatonic scales. Okay, pentatonic scales. Now, obviously, these are the most commonly used for rock and roll. I mean, every blues player in the world has used it. But there's a bunch of them, and there's actually 5, and the word pent means 5, Latin for 5. So I'm going to show you all 5 areas that you can play them. Now, you know, this is for the key of C, but normally people use it over the A minor 7, over the A minor 7, or just the A. So let me just show them to you really quick. First one starts on the 3rd fret. It sounds like this. Also, when you pick these, you might want to start with an upstroke on these. So this way you end on a downstroke at the top here, giving you that kind of speed thing. Okay, the next one is going to be on the 5th fret, and it sounds like this. Okay, next we go up to the 8th fret and have this bit. Notice the fingering on the chart too, just okay, next we go to the 10th fret. We have this. Again. Okay, next we go up to the 12th fret and have again. Okay, so there they are. Those are 5 pentatonic scales. Now, the interesting thing is to take them and put passing tones into them. For instance, the second one that I showed you, which sounded like this. If I was to take it and add be a little more interesting. So these are some passing tones. I'm going to show you 5 examples. There are certainly a lot more than this, but these are some that I use. So we'll start with the first one. Is going to be on the 3rd fret again. Okay, so on this first one you might want to try something like this. Or the next one is most commonly used. You might want to try some things like okay. Okay, next you go up to the 8th fret and try something like. Next we go up to the 10th fret and try something like. This one, up at the 12th fret, may be a little bit more involved. That's kind of the sound you get out of it. So, there's 5 ideas for passing tones. You can mix and match those together. So that's that. Now, the next thing I would like to talk about is how you're going to combine these scales. In order to do that, we have to talk about something else, and that is keys. Okay, in order to be able to properly apply these scales and combine them, you have to understand how keys work. And basically, if you're in the key of G, you had 7 notes, and 8 again, which is 1. You have 7 chords as well, and all those chords are in the key of G, which means that you can play all those diatonic modes over any of the chords in the key of G. For instance, B minor 7, you can use, which is the Ionian mode. Just to understand simply how it works, there's an order that it goes in. It starts out major. Now I'm going to follow the scale once again, and using the bass note, playing a chord over it. Starts out major, minor, minor, major, dominant, minor 7 flat 5, and then major. Okay. Okay. Most of the rock chords that you hear don't really have a designated major or minor, because the third doesn't appear. You have 1, 5, and 1, and you seldom hear that. So I kind of, for the purposes of being a little bit edgier sounding, kind of think of it as a minor chord. And if it is a minor chord, say we're in the key of A, if it is A minor, then it would be the 2nd chord in the key of G, according to the way I just showed you that chart. So if it is in the key of G, then that means we can play G diatonic scales. But I also told you before that C pentatonic goes over A as well, because it's the relative minor. So scale combining means taking the G diatonic, which is, and the pentatonic, which is, and coming up with something like. Okay, again. Now, that works all the way up the neck. For instance, you can go to the next scale in G, which is Dorian, and you find yourself right back at this pentatonic. The next one you can go to, say you go to Phrygian, and you'll find yourself close to the passing tones of the 3rd pentatonic. So that's... if you were to go to the Lydian next, you'd find yourself pretty close to the fourth pentatonic. It works against it. Okay, the next one would be going to the Mixolydian, which is... going to the fifth pentatonic. Okay, so there you have it. What I did was I took the diatonic modes from G. Now remember, I'm thinking of A as the second chord in the key of G. Once again, because it's not designated major or minor. Just have that 1-5-1 happening. So we can do what I said. We can take it, think of it as the second chord in the key of G, and use all those G scales against it. And at the same time, we can use the pentatonics with all the passing tones or without the passing tones, whatever you like. And you can do this now in every single key. And what you're going to find is all of a sudden you have a tremendous amount of area that you can play in rather than being stuck in that one little spot that everyone seems to be stuck in. So that's basically it. That's what I wanted to talk about. Now, the other thing is, of course, vibrato. Whenever you play, vibrato is a very important thing to most players. I like the slower. I'm sorry. Always, you know, be conscious of not doing that peace thing if you can, you know, unless you really like it, but it doesn't seem to be as fluid at the end of a... It gives you a little bit nicer sound, especially in the recording studio. Okay, so we've talked about now diatonic, pentatonic, pentatonics with passing tones, and how you can combine them, and a little bit about vibrato. And I guess that's basically what I wanted to talk about. So just concentrate on that and try and do it in as many different keys as you can. And I'll be back again to talk about some other things. So thanks, and keep on playing.